For that great introduction, thank you. I'm going to talk about, sorry, I have to stand near the mic. I'm going to talk about cybersecurity, IoT, and the threats that we're facing. Now, my presentation's a little bit different. I don't go into technical detail. I talk about a concept and things that are being faced. So we're looking at a changing market. And in this market, we're seeing that there's more than 16 billion worth of sales that are happening in security, CCTV security primarily, which actually means you've got more than 150 million security cameras being sold every year. But there are trends to this. We've had GDPR come in last year. These trends actually create more opportunities and more exposure to any kind of security markets. Problem is that the minute you create these opportunities, and the previous gentleman mentioned it as well, you're creating more threats. You're creating more entrances for hacking, for cyber crimes as well. And as we're going, we have less tolerance to accept this. So think about this. If you're making a phone call and your phone stops, the network cuts you off, you get annoyed, you call back. You've lost 10, 15 seconds. It's not a big deal. Imagine if your security system, your CCTV cameras, your network drops for a minute. Anything can happen in a minute. So the tolerance we have is getting less and less. We will not accept that kind of performance. So what do we do about it? We have to look at preventive measures, not reactive. Now, I've got a question for the room, if you can put up their hands. Who here takes cybersecurity seriously? Can I see hands? Not as many as I thought.
You should ask the other question. How many don't take it seriously?
I know, I was going for the more positive.
Okay.
A little spin. Okay, some of you take it positively. Great. How many of you have actually done something about it? No hands.
Over there's a couple. It's the lights that you don't see the
I've got really good eyesight.
Okay.
Thank you. But if you look at this screen right now, what I've actually done this morning, I just went on Google and I put in learn to hack. 390 million websites came up, which basically means anyone with access to the internet can learn how to hack. And it's very simple to do. So there's more information out there on how to create cybercrime than to prevent it. Now, to me, that doesn't really make sense. So it should be the opposite, but it isn't. So if we move along, and this is going to be a bit provoking now. We have products in the industry that basically create cybercrime. Okay? These are facts. We've seen it. At any given time, there's a report in the news, there's a report on media somewhere where there's been hacking of cameras, there's been hacking of a network through cameras, there's been hacking of data, information being pulled out because certain manufacturers, and I'm not going to mention names, are not doing the correct security. They're not doing preventive work. And this is something that we are responsible for because GDPR clearly states that if any data that you have is going out into the market or being collected unauthorized, you're responsible for it. So how do you manage this? So these are proof that cybersecurity is not a buzzword. It's something that has to be focused on and resolved. Now, I'm going to ask something else here. Whoever has their phone with them, can you please take a picture of this slide? Please. I'll tell you after you take the picture. Right, thank you. These are articles in the last 12 months of cyber hacks through either cameras or videos that have been taken and posted online. The first one is actually footage showing people's homes. Whether it's a baby in its crib, a person changing in their room, it's been hacked. And it's been posted on a website and hosted. The second one is storage servers made from a certain country that actually have chips that store data and ping it out back to the manufacturer. IR sensors. So the infrared little sensors you see on cameras, hackers have found a way to get in through those into a network and even to make sure those create Morse code and give data out. And then we've got 4 schools, their CCTV cameras were hacked in the UK. And again, this sounds like a little bit of a drama here, but I've asked you to take the picture because I want you to have a look at those links in your spare time. These are official articles from magazines and from newspapers that you can see how serious it is. So what are we doing? This is our statement. We are not a camera company, we're not a software company, we're not a hardware company. We're a solutions company being able to provide cyber-secure video technologies. This is what we try and do. And there's various ways we do this in. One of those ways is through our DNA. Our DNA, we've been an IoT product and a cyber-secure product before the terms were even mentioned in the industry. We didn't even know we were an IoT product until someone decided that IoT is a thing. Which is really good for us, but sometimes bad for other people. So how do we actually do this? We have end-to-end encryption, and we've got something called a cactus concept. The cactus concept is basically this. We've got digital thorns outside that protect anyone trying to infiltrate any kind of device or system where we're being used. And this is a preventive measure. This is done at the research and development point. It's not an add-on afterwards into a system. And again, we do this, and we do this through our strategy. We do this with integration and working with other companies. We also do it through third-party testing. And this is key. This is what a lot of companies forget. And it was mentioned before, Cisco do a lot of third-party testing as well. So do we. We don't rely on us saying it, we're great, we're the best, only by us. Wonderful. So what? We're saying it. Obviously, we're going to promote our own product. So what we look at is finding other ways of doing it. So
Digital video surveillance systems
we put the volume up a
many
little
modern
bit, please.
security concepts. From airports and public transportation to production facilities, they provide increasingly sophisticated security functions. But using low-quality cameras invites hackers to penetrate vulnerable systems. What is meant as protection can quickly become a self-made security threat. Mobotix considers IT security essential to its security camera development. Made in Germany, video surveillance systems offer unique protection from cyber attacks. The operating system is based on a specially developed and secured Linux module. Its structure is unknown to hackers and makes it particularly difficult to identify loopholes. All firmware updates are encrypted and digitally signed. This protects all recordings and other communications with the camera. If an attacker still succeeds in decrypting the credentials of hacked or stolen cameras, these can't be used to harm other cameras within the network. Such high standards, coupled with extensive testing and award-winning product quality, most definitely make Mobotix Solutions an investment in the future.
Who liked the video? Yay. Notice the American accent, even though we're a German company. We just find it's easier for people to understand that. This is actually a feature set that we have. Okay? We're not the only ones that have the feature set, but we're the only ones that have all the features so far listed on every single device. And this is the list. This is what we try and do, and we improve on it. We evolve this list all the time. Now, we also do something called a penetration test. Who here knows what it is? Yeah? Most people. Great. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. It's basically we're finding ways of getting into our products. This is what everyone should be doing, because it helps us actually identify the loopholes, where we're failing, where we need to increase and work harder, and also to develop the next stage of our products to make sure those holes are no longer there. And it should be a standard. We are actually certified. And I think we're one of very, very few companies in the world that have an actual approval certification from a penetration test right now. This is how seriously we take it, and obviously our wonderful blue cactus. You can also protect yourselves. And these are just simple facts. whether you're changing your default passwords, whether you're changing your ports, whether you're going behind VPNs. These are standard things, but it's amazing how many times people forget to actually do this, or they think it's not that necessary or it's not that important. It's a basic list. You can Google it right now and it'll give you it on the internet. But again, you'll probably get 20, 30,000 sites saying this compared to 390 million telling you how to get around this. GDPR. Who here has really gone into the details of GDPR and incorporated it into their business? Okay, should really be in everyone's hand, but anyway. So GDPR and cybersecurity go together. I mentioned it before. But it's up to you to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to protect, who you're going to protect, and when. Because ultimately, we are all liable from a business standpoint of any data we have. And the more protection we do, the more security we do to stop people accessing it and pulling it out, the safer we're going to be as an entity, as a business, for profitability, and for penalties as well. So again, think about next time you're going to go and invest in any kind of technology for your business or your customers. Is it the right thing to protect you from the business you're doing? Because that's a key thing. Now, what we also have is a little program here. We focus on cybersecure partners. So we've got certain, let's say, advantages where we bring common products, technologies together and work with them to create an end-to-end solution, because not a single company can actually manufacture everything that's needed. But we've got technology partners and solution partners that meet these rigid credentials that we want in place. So again, from a solution perspective, it's not just one aspect or one product in a solution, it's also everything connected to it. And this is vital. So, summary, and it's very simple. I've got 4 seconds to go, so this is going to be quick. Cybercrime, increasing. We've got to look at new technologies. Without new technologies, we're not going to be able to protect against it. We've got more ways, because of IoT, with everything being connected to the internet, of accessing different networks. From actually any IP device, connected device, we can actually do this. The more devices you have, the more entry points you have. Very simple. You've got to have security as a prerequisite. It's not an option. It's not reactive. And security is at the heart of innovation. Without security right now, security is actually leading what you're going to do and how you're going to do things, because it's dictating how safe it is for you to perform an action, whether it's artificial intelligence or whether it's a data center, whatever it is. And that's basically the flashing line. So I'd like to thank you for giving me the time to speak. I hope it wasn't that boring. And if you have any questions, I don't have time.
You don't have time.
Okay, wonderful.
But you'll be outside.
I'll be outside, so please come and
Thanks
grab
very
me.
much.
Thank you so much.
That was innocent one.
Yes, sir.